Yacht A Aquarius, welcome to Navajo Sage Weaver Tarot's channel. Today I am going to do your reading. I've already pre-shuffled the card and already have it all laid out for you, and we'll go over what the card is sharing and showing us in the energy of Aquarius. So if you resonate with the Aquarius air sign, are dealing with somebody or are witnessing this in your environment, then this tarot story is for you. So I'm going to shake the rattle and help any energy that is stagnant. All right. All right, Aquarius. So, Aquarius, we are starting off with the Knight of Wands, or the Knight of Voices. So we're coming in here really strong with, um, our horse, our power. We're coming in here with our, you know, um, coming in with action. We're either flying away, right, or flying towards um, this circle that is white, and we're moving in a way that is swift. So we're taking action in some sort of way, right? So when we're moving in these direction, because the knight, he can be flexible and move swiftly in, you know, any direction he wants to go because he has his wings, right? But here, the knight, so you have two knights here, the knight of emotions, he's connected, right, to his emotions here. But the knight emotions, is that pinnacles, right? What you're working towards. You have to work towards something. So before you can, kind of go in the direction that you want to go, where you're working towards, right? You have to have work. There's work, there's this action, there's, moving the vibration, so taking action. And then we have to experience the death here. We have to experience the movement of our emotions, our character. And sometimes it feels overwhelming, like this cast of shadow up here, like a storm's getting ready to to come out. But the death card doesn't mean that, it's over. It's just meaning that, this is a new cycle that you're going through, that you're taking a swift action towards, that you're working towards, right? Moving the vibration. Because you want your 10 of Pentacles. Here you have the 10 of Pentacles. You want to see those pentacles that you're working at. You want to start seeing something out of it. You want them to start aligning in a way. So that's why there's this movement here. But Spirit is saying you have to trust your intuition. Start listening to yourself. Maybe there's this attachment, right, that we have, trying to figure out which way to move, because you can do that. You can, you know, kind of move swiftly if you have to, if an obstacle's coming through. And sometimes we may detach ourselves. Here you have your wings, but you don't have your wings here when you're working, and you have to feel the emotions in order to have a completion in your life, but listening to your intuition. And then the card Here, the two of inspiration speaks. There's two different aspects. If you see, if you take this aspect has a certain vibration, but if you take the other aspect, which is, maybe the more, more action in life, right? So, but you're trying to listen to yourself and find the shadow in it with the moon, trying to listen to your intuition of what choice to make. Sometimes, Aquarius, it puts us in the Eight of Swords, feeling trapped, feeling isolated, because what we want may feel like it's unreachable, but if you do the work, everything will start aligning. Because the Ten of Pentacles is always available to us. You just have to figure out what choice you want. Yes, it may feel like you're imprisoning yourself, but sometimes that shadow part of who we are we have to feel it, And it doesn't feel good sometimes, because when we put ourselves in isolation, then things start changing. Our environment starts changing, our mindset starts changing, and we start leaving things behind, whether they are people, places, or things. So leaving the Seven of Swords behind, and moving into the Seven of Materials and leaving some of them behind without looking back, because you're listening to your intuition and it makes you reflect. And maybe sometimes, Aquarius, it's easy to go into this illusion instead of feeling feelings of the Eight of Swords. But because you seek help from the moon, from your celestial, from your ancestors, they gave you two perspective, and you're looking really hard because you have your work clothes on, you have your gear, you're ready for it. You're ready for the action. Whether you're alone on that path, leaving things behind without looking back, but reflecting and seeing them as illusions, fantasies that maybe we lived in at one point. Because it's better to live in that. There's no pain. But now you have the Three of Pentacles here under the Ten of Pentacles. Finding you are constructing your path because you're putting in the work. It's difficult. Maybe there are two. You have the Four of Wands twice here. So whatever this knight is rushing into that has to fix, maybe there's two types of, groups of people that you're trying to find balance, asking the higher self how to do that. because if you don't, it puts you in this space of feeling like you have to choose. And when you do that, it feels isolating. And then you end up leaving those things behind. But you're working really hard at this goal that you're setting for yourself because Spirit is saying, and has to show you in the cards, Aquarius, that whatever you're working for, maybe it's not noticeable, right? And because there's a lot of work that has to go into it. And Spirit is saying, hey, there's going to be a celebration for you at some point, whether you do it, and whatever it is, it's really hard because you have to bring this night in, but also you have to learn how to tame this horse. You know, horses are very powerful, powerful beings. And then once you do that, once you start, figuring out with your spirit guides, your group, whatever this is here, all these entities that are helping you or guiding you in that direction, Aquarius. Here comes in the energy of the Knight of Cups. Somebody maybe trying to connect with the emotions, which is really hard for Aquarius, who's an air sign, is connecting with the emotions. It's a lot of work. It puts you in this space of isolation. So maybe you don't like to go into your emotions too much, Aquarius, because of that, because maybe you're too deep into it, maybe you go too deep. And when you go too deep, it makes you reflect a lot. And so you have to go in this space of connecting to your higher self and listening to your intuition on the path that you need to go. So that way you can always have this around you, this celebration, this enjoyment of this foundation that you're building for yourself and learning how to trust yourself. Coming into the night and, you know, coming into the night and being that king. But with uh the Nine of Cups here, having that feeling satisfied after walking away from something that you've been working really hard, connecting to the celestial speaking, maybe letting go of an element, right? A drink, smoking, and taming it in a way that you can be comforted and it doesn't make you feel trapped. Then you come in, Aquarius, with the Two of Materials, saying, hold this shit up. Stop. It's too much work. I need a break. I can't do it. Because if I do it, then I have to go. The Lover's energy reflect within my masculine and feminine. I have to put a lot of work into it. I have to start digging deep with this King of Cups here. There's too much burden with the Knight of Wands. It's a burden to connect with my masculine and feminine. It's a burden to connect with people I love in my life. It's a lot of work, Spirit. So hold the F up. Let me chill. So, because you screamed that, right? Spirit says, okay, you can rest. Here is the nest. Here is a place that you can feel comfortable because, it's not like a mattress or hotel or anything. It's like she's comfortable laying on some, wherever you are, your hard work. Just need a rest. Maybe need a rest from the mind. You have a stick here with the thread cut around, the emotions, your heart, your legs taking action, connecting it with connecting whatever is painful, right? Of letting go. Because the page of emotion is coming in once you start resting. Once you start resting and not look at it as a burden, you start reflecting within yourself. You start building, feeling out, feeling out the energy of like the path that you are for sure you want to choose, right? And any kind of disruption or unwanted feelings, you're going to catch it right away because you also have the Page of Swords here. You're going to be on guard. But Spirit says, trust your intuition with the moon and connect with your masculine and feminine. Take a break. Because once you start trusting your intuition and who you are and really being this growing every lesson, the king, you have to go through this phase of this learning how to maneuver around it. So maybe this is a new way of communicating, right? Because Aquarius is air, but also coming in, flying, some sort of communication, flying in, and we're learning how to communicate, learning how to put something down, maybe that's addictive, right? That puts us in a state of isolation, whatever it is. There's a lot of things, however, those people, places, or things are for you. But being on guard all the time, learning how to connect with your masculine and feminine, even though it's a lot of work. It's always going to be a lot of work, but remember to take a break because horse energy people, you have to tell them to take a break, right? Working all the time, horses can work. if you ever if you ever see in like a Amish horse or a horse that is used in a community like that, they always have this instincts of going out and working and coming in at a specific time. And sometimes when I would herd sheep, the sheep would already know where to graze. Kind of, I would follow them and then they would know how to come back to the corral in a way that they use the light or they use something. but they had this instinct of knowing when the morning and so talking about that, having that instinct of the horse, of trying to, if Aquarius is working hard, because some Aquarius, they work out really hard at everything they do. Maybe somebody needs to tell you to take a break, so, and maybe you're stubborn like that. It scares you. Maybe you're always working, that's why. And so when you do that, when you rest, right? When you stop and rest, take a break, then you're able to think clearly. And that's when the Six of Pentacles here comes in. That generosity from spirit. All because you yelled, "Hold the F up. Stop. I don't like how this feeling comes in. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that." Having a tantrum. But you still can have that tantrum. You still have to do the work. And when you do that, there's rewards from the divine will come in, and you just have to hurry up and grab them. And then the star comes in and telling you, Aquarius, to trust, have hope that everything's gonna line up, even with all the work that you put through, feeling it out, growing, learning how to do the two of voices here, learning how to detach, and learning how to trust yourself as one, and walking through the passage here because you took time to rest, because you're having hope. You're learning to fill out with your intuition, connecting, trusting that instead of being dependent on, but putting in the work and taming all those emotions that you have there. And ending here with the Knight of Wands, having that victory. So you have the Knight of Voices, which is, I think it's the Cups, the Knight of Cups here. And then this is the Knight of Wands, and then this one's the Knight of Emotions, and I believe the emotions may be Pentacles. So I see that here. And so you're working your knights because maybe you're at that knight state ready to get to that next step, right? Which after the knights is the queen and king. So you're coming up to your completion there, Aquarius, and you know it. You do, because you already prepare. Look, you already know the minute you start making that change, you have to walk away. It's gonna take some work learning how to maneuver it. And that's why you're had to throw a tantrum and just coming back in balance, right? And yeah, we got hurt, so now we have a different way of interacting with the world and being on guard. It's okay. You have to be on guard sometimes. That's what gives us our instinct to either, what's that? Fight or fleet. And trusting that intuition, having that hope, walking through the doors. And the night here is that, taking the risks of doing that. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Let's see what pull a couple of archetypes that could be in here. That could be our barrier. That could be however it's playing out for you in the storyline. So we have, okay, Aquarius, we're pulling out some cards here. We have the Fool attribute. So remember, this is either you are of these traits, you resonate with it, or you are dealing with somebody with of these traits, or you're seeing this play out in your environment. However this resonates with you, that's up to you. Put these characters wherever they need to be put. So we have the Fool, and the light attribute of the Fool says fearless, revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurd and hypocrites, hypocrites, sorry. And the shadow attribute, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial your emotional truth. Bully, light attribute, highlight your tendency to intimidate others, help you confront the inner fear that bully you. Shadow attribute, conceal deep fears behind verbal or physical abuse. The Hermit, light attribute, seek solitude to focus intentionally on inner self, serve personal creativity. And the shadow attribute is withdraw from society out of fear or negative judgment of others, refusing to help those in need. And let's see what the fairies have to say for us, Aquarius. The fairy is bringing the Oakman energy, and for me, that Oakman energy is saying it's okay, we can have these attributes, and because everybody has them, and they can look however it wants to be, right? Whatever you're taking action towards, whatever you need to feel caution of, putting out your antlers, you're feeling out, learning how to use your female and male, how to tame them so that way they're one's not overbalancing the other, right? And then we have the Dark Lady. The Dark Lady is letting us know that sometimes our shadow, it's okay to work in the shadow. Sometimes we see ourselves a little more better, says the fairy energy there. And the energy of Aestilis. I'm pronouncing that wrong. Apologize. But for me, that's like lighting up your chakra of your voice, using your voice. It's hard to communicate. The fairy says to use your voice, even in the dark, even when things don't look pretty. Trust the stars there. And it's okay. It's okay. Everybody has a different fairy. Everybody looks different. You're not the only one going through a situation like this and make yourself vulnerable, right? She's naked here and she's vulnerable there. So use your vulnerability with the lovers too. There's a lot of covered, uncovered skin there. So maybe there's something about being vulnerable in that aspect and still having that cautiousness, right? With the Page of Swords. So that's what I have from you with the fairies. We'll see what other message Spirit wants to share with you, Aquarius. All right. So Spirit wants to share, shift your energy, be vulnerable, look at the bigger picture, and be gentle with yourself. Some tea leaves. Still trying to figure out how to get these. Oh. All right, so the tea leaves also shares tear drops, great personal sorrow. So changing energy, maybe you need to cry, bringing the emotions in, working at the emotions. Your King of Cups here, don't like to work on it. Tankard, celebrate fun enjoyment you had over here. Mule, someone is extremely stubborn and unwilling to change. Right here you had the two materials there. The sun, happiness and well-being. Tortoise, slow but surely getting ahead with your pages. Purse, pay attention to your finances. Dog, protection from friends and family. Or just friends. I don't know why I said family. Maybe you do have protection from family too. Arrow, you are on the right path regarding some aspect of your life. Eagle, triumph over trouble obstacles. Harp, great happiness. And beetle, good fortune. All right, Aquarius, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to do your reading. And I just want to say, Hojana has clean, Hojana has clean, Hojana has clean, Hojana has clean, Hojana has clean. Asheha.